This is a call to a quiet revolution. A revolution not against capitalism, but for its reclamation. A revolution for a new model. CapitaCialism. Welcome to the War Room. Today, Episode 3, we stop talking, we simulate. Sitting at the table with me, Hélène, our NGO director, and Thomas, our investor. The mission: find the perfect company to buy, the asset that will make Hélène's organization rich and independent.
Art, stop right there. Thomas's idea looks great on paper, okay? But I'm a social worker. I know how to manage crisis situations. I know human distress. I don't know how to run a factory. If Thomas buys me a construction company tomorrow, I'll bankrupt it in 3 months. Guaranteed.
Hold on, Hélène. You're not going to run it. When I buy Apple stock, I don't fly to Cupertino to solder iPhones. I let Tim Cook do his job. It's the same here. We buy a company that already has a managing director. You are just the shareholder. You cash the checks for your mission.
And that is where the missing link lies. Between Thomas's money and Hélène's social vision, we need someone else. We need a capital merger and acquisition manager.
A what?
An expert, someone with the brain of an investment banker, but the heart of a humanitarian. He hunts the target, negotiates the deal, and monitors the managing director or the CEO to ensure the money flows up. So, let's run the simulation. Hélène, your NGO fights violence against women. You need cash, okay, but can we find a business that also makes sense for your beneficiaries?
Okay, let's brainstorm. As an investor, my criteria are strict. 1. Recurring revenue. No seasonal business. 2. Net margin of at least 10%. 3. A manager who stays in place.
And me? I'd love it if it could help the women we support. They need work, dignity. Often they have no diploma, no formal qualifications.
Okay, no diploma. Need stability. What if we bought an industrial cleaning company?
Wait, cleaning? That's not very sexy, Art.
On the contrary, Thomas, it's the perfect business to start experimenting with CapitaCialism. For example, it's B2B. You sign 3-year contracts with office buildings. It's predictable cash flow. It's exactly what you're looking for. And for Hélène...
Well, for us, it would be huge. We could offer permanent contracts to our beneficiaries. A real salary, financial independence. It would be the exit from the tunnel for them.
Not bad, and that's perfect timing. One of my brokers actually sent me a teaser about a company where the owner, 62 years old, is looking for a buyer. What was the name again? Ah, right. Cleaning 2000. Imagine, we acquire Cleaning 2000, a local SME. The owner retires. We keep the clients. We keep the managers. But we change the HR policy to hire Hélène's women. You know what? Let's check the numbers and run a simulation. I think I received information from my contact, including the financial statements. I look up the NACE Code 81.21, General Cleaning of Buildings. I filter for Cleaning 2000. Oh great, I have the 2024 financials right here. Revenue, 1.7 million euros.
Wow, that's huge.
It is. And look at profitability. It generates an EBITDA of 200,000 euros.
Hélène, EBITDA is the gross cash the machine produces before paying interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. That's what we care about. The lifeblood of the deal, but most importantly, it's the company's lungs.
And those lungs determine the price. In this sector, it sells for a bit over 4 times EBITDA. So the estimated sale price is 850,000 euros.
850,000 euros? We don't have that. Even with your donations, Thomas, that's too heavy.
Hélène, you're thinking like an NGO director. Thomas, tell her how investors think.
We don't pay the full amount. The bank will lend us 70% because the business is profitable. I only need to put in the equity contribution, the remaining 30%. That's 255,000 euros.
That's what we call skin in the game. You put your own equity on the table. That's the only way the bank follows you. 255,000 euros to control an asset worth nearly €1 million. That's leverage. You see, Hélène, for 255,000 euros upfront, what is a big, typical donation for Thomas? We take control of a war machine worth close to €1 million.
Okay, but the loan, that's a massive debt.
Well, Cleaning 2000 repays it with its profits.
Hold on, Thomas. Let's be precise. You don't repay a bank with EBITDA. Hélène, if we take all the money to repay the bank, we can't buy new vacuums or repair the vans, and the company dies.
That's exactly what I was afraid of.
That's why we look at free cash flow, the cash that's actually available. Thomas, run the math again. Take the 200,000 of EBITDA, remove cash taxes on operating profit, subtract capex to replace equipment, and don't forget working capital. You need cash to pay salaries while you wait for clients to pay.
Working capital?
It's the oxygen of the business, Helen. Profit is an opinion. Cash is a fact. Thomas, once everything is paid, how much real cash is left?
200,000 minus cash taxes on operating profit, minus capex, minus the working capital change. We land on a free cash flow of about 115,000 to 125,000 euros before financing.
There you go. That's reality. This is the cash available to service the debt. With 125,000 a year, after interest and keeping the business healthy, how long does it take to clear the loan?
It takes a bit longer, let's say 6 or 7 years.
7 years, that's nothing. And during those 7 years, the company keeps investing, stays healthy, it's managed responsibly. But after those 7 years, there will be no debt, zero. The 125,000 euros of free cash flow drops every single year. Instead of paying the owner's Porsche, it goes straight into your NGO's budget. It's a perpetual cash flow.
Wait, I'm doing the ratio. 125,000 a year for 255,000 invested up front. That's a 49% annual return. That's insane.
Except this yield isn't for you, Thomas, it's for the cause. 125,000 net, that's 2 senior specialized educators' salaries, funded forever, just with a signature?
Welcome to the real world, where money isn't begged for. It is manufactured. This is the smoking gun. We don't ask anymore, we own. Can you hear it in her voice? The fear is gone. It's been replaced by ambition. But now Thomas is going to ask the question that hurts. The one you all have in mind. This is great art, but legally, can we do this? Tax-wise, are we going to get crushed? The answer is in episode 4. And I'm warning you, get your notebooks out. We're going to do some law. This was CapitaCialism. See you next week.